Hello and welcome to English Cottage Catholic. May the peace of Christ be with you. Today, let's visit a city that's celebrating its centenary year, 100 years since the 6 pottery towns unified and officially became the glorious city of Stoke-on-Trent. First, we'll explore the Gladstone Pottery Museum, and then visit the Burleigh Factory Shop, where we can browse Burleigh ware to our heart's content. Before setting out on today's adventure, I feel I ought to explain. I had intended to spend the entire day in Stoke-on-Trent and do a variety of things. Walk along the canal, visit Emma Bridgewater, visit a couple of other museums, and especially visit the Moorcroft Pottery Visitor Centre as an absolute highlight. More about Moorcroft in a minute. However, as Rabbi Burns once remarked, the best laid schemes of mice and men gang after gley. So many changes of plan and unexpected things happened that day. I ended up getting to Gladstone Pottery just an hour before they closed, and to Middleport Pottery where Burleigh is, with about half an hour to spare before they locked up. As a result, I'm absolutely set on returning again soon, as there's so much more to see in Stoke-on-Trent. There's the potteries, of course, and Stoke also has National Trust places nearby, and they have a lovely steam railway, and I'd love to visit the canals and get my fix of towpath walks and roses and castles narrowboat art. So that's a nice thing to look forward to for the future, God willing, but I did have such a fantastic time. It was just a lot shorter than I expected. I still managed to get some really great footage to share with you, so you really get a taste of these amazing places, and certainly I can't wait to share with you the wonderland that is the Burleigh Factory Shop. So just briefly returning to Moorcroft Pottery, which I mentioned earlier as somewhere I would have liked to visit on my trip to Stoke if I had a bit more time. Shockingly, a few weeks ago, not long ago, Moorcroft entered into voluntary liquidation. This is so saddening, and I am so sorry about this. I found a petition online which I signed straight away, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below in case you'd also like to sign the petition. I think it's really important, as much as we can, to send a strong message to the Moorcroft employees and also to the government that we care. This breaks our hearts, and that if anything can be done to save Moorcroft, then it should. And we certainly want the government to realise it's important to people, so they might decide to take steps to help prevent this same thing happening to any of the other potteries in future. So please do take a look in the description box for the link to the petition. When I first signed it, there were only about 200 signatures, and now there are nearly 4,000. And, we just have to entrust the whole situation to God's care. When things don't make sense and it all seems wrong and negative, we entrust it to God's mercy for good to come out of it, and for Him to bless and guide everyone involved. I have to say, there's also an insightful blog article on the Burleigh website, written in the wake of Moorcroft closing, which I'll put a link to in the description box in case you'd also like to take a look at that. In the Big Burleigh book, it says that husband and wife William and Rosemary Dorling, who were instrumental in saving Burleigh from similar woes in the 1990s, they used to have a big car sticker that read, "Do you drink out of English clay? If not, start today. Support our English potteries." I feel like we need some more of those car stickers printed and on display right now. So, with all that said and done, let's dive into the Gladstone Pottery Museum and experience the history and craft of pottery making in the only complete Victorian pottery factory from the days when coal-burning ovens made the world's finest bone china.
wear several layers of thick clothing to stop your skin burning, and a wet rag on your head, but it's still unbearably hot, and it's very dark. At last, you and your team finish the job. The oven's empty again, ready to be filled with the next batch of pottery. Just imagine.
So, are you ready for the highlight of the day? I arrived at Middleport Pottery, and as I mentioned earlier, I had very little time before the doors would shut and I'd be locked out. So when I arrived, I was a woman under pressure. Inside, I was like, the clock is ticking! There's not enough time! There's not enough time! Whilst on the outside, I was trying to glide along gracefully like a swan on a lake of tranquility, because I had reached this amazing place that is like a dream come true for me to visit. And not only were they about to start closing up, but I also knew I was entering Temptation Alley. I knew exactly what I wanted to get, the big Burleigh book. However, to get it, I had to pass the most beautiful items on all sides that were also the most heavily discounted I've ever known for Burleigh wear. There was the seconds discount plus an additional 55% off. I nearly broke down. Could I do it? Could I just get the book, or would I crack? And hopefully I wouldn't crack any of the items. I took a deep breath and began. back at home again, and I got the book. This is what I've been calling the Big Burleigh book. Its proper name is Burleigh, The Story of a Pottery by Julie McKeon. And sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong. Coincidentally, it says in the author's bio that she's also worked with the Gladstone Pottery Museum, which we also visited today. And I got something else. I bought this beautiful cereal bowl. Including the extra discount, it came to £7.87 and the book was £40. Now, everything in the shop was displayed so beautifully to give you ideas of what might work well together, and there were a few things there that actually aren't on the website, so it's worth visiting just to have a browse and see what you can find, something different. There's also an upstairs, which is the first showroom, but I didn't make it to that floor this time. But God willing, there'll be a next time. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you also like Burleigh and other English pottery, please do take a look at my other videos, as there are several where pottery either plays a starring role or at least makes a cameo appearance. Please do like the video and subscribe to English Cottage Catholic for regular new videos. Thanks again, and God bless you. Till next time, bye.